Morning class, and welcome to CSE 102 for the section 5 unit 3. We are going to be going to Visual Basic Programming Language. Visual Basic Programming Language is commonly known as VB. Visual Basic is an event-driven language, and it has some features like that of the object-oriented programming. We have the object-oriented programming, we have the procedural language programming. By the time you get to higher class, you begin to do some object-oriented programming language, and you also do a bit of procedural programming language. An example of a procedural programming language is the Perl programming language, and for object-oriented programming language, an example is the Java, which you are still going to learn as you go on in the course of your study. Actions are tied to the occurrence of events. An example is when you click a mouse, an action occurs. And that is why we say VB is an event-driven language. Then how do you go about your VB? The software you use is the Microsoft Visual Studio 6.0. By the time you go for your practical class, I hope you'll be able to do a little bit of VB. So the application wizard can be selected from the new project dialog box. And if you are cancelled the new project dialog box and you want to start the application wizard, you have to select File, the new project, to display the new project dialog box again. And this is the interface of a Visual Basic. So this is the part where you have to go to File and you select the next application. Then we are going to be talking about the programming part of Visual Basic. We're going into the properties and all others. So we are going straight to the programming part of the Visual Basic. So this is the interface of a Visual Basic with Project 1. So after you have gotten to the application, you start the page. Then you drag and drop a tool from the toolbar. It's just like our Microsoft Word. So you drag and drop a tool from the toolbar to form panel, and you also save your work. In Visual Basic, we have the design panel and the coding panel. We have both the design panel and the coding panel in Visual Basic. When you double click the design panel, this is the design panel interface. The first one that you're seeing on the screen is a design panel. That's the interface of the design panel. And when you double click the design panel, you will now get to the coding panel. So the second box you're seeing is the coding panel. So we have the design panel and the coding panel. The Visual Basic design panel is the output of the code run in the coding panel. So even though your design has been created first, you have to be sure that the code has been automatically generated. Then you can run your code by pressing on F5 on the keyboard or go to the menu bar. Then this is the first box we are seeing here is the toolbar. This is the toolbar with different tools. Then we have the form panel. This is the form panel. Then we also have the properties window. Then we have the menu bar. So the design panel comprise the toolbar, the form panel, the properties window, and the menu bar. All these are in the design panel. Don't forget that you can change the features of each tool in the property window. Through the property window, which is at the right hand side, like I showed us earlier on, you can change the features of each tool from there. Then take note that the name of each tool is also very important. You reference each tool with its name, so you have to be careful by giving your tools good and distinct names. An example is if you want a label for carrying the address, you can use LBL address. Then if you want a button that computes addition, you can use a name BTN add compute. That means that button for button that computes addition. In an example now, this is an example. I want to design a form to compute the addition of two numbers. To design a form to compute the addition of two numbers. For you to design a form like this, you need three labels, text boxes, and a button, because you are computing the addition of two numbers. So you need three labels, text boxes, and a button. And don't forget, by the time you pick the text box, you have to clear the text. You have to clear the text on the text boxes. And for labels and buttons, you go to caption property. You go to the caption property. So this is the interface for the form. The first number, that's the label. The second number, that's another label. Then it's sum, that's a third label. Then we have the text box where the numbers will be inputted. We have the three text box and a button, the add button. We have the add button here. So this is the interface for that example. So like I told us, this is just the VB that you're doing is just an introduction to the Visual Basic programming. With this, we have come to the end of CS 102 for this semester. Wish you all the best. Thanks for listening.